Welcome back on Monday evening. Kind of transitioning into the nighttime now. Nonetheless, Monday Night Thunder rolls on. England Farms 360 wing sprint cars back in action. Round number one, season number 25. And if you missed the big block show a little while ago, well, you missed a heck of a deal. Green flag for 40 laps around Houston Speedway. New winner, first time winner at DSRL, rookie to the series, and he showed the field what it's about. We'll see who will come home with the win here in round number one of the 360s. Remember, this series will alternate back and forth between 360s one week and 410s the next for the sprint cars, and they've brought 32 drivers in here this evening. So it should be a good one. We'll take 22 of those and put them into tonight's A main. A lot of familiar faces. I saw Nathan Davis and Ryan Scheidt. A little tardy to the party, but in the house and racing nonetheless. Some new guys in the series here. That's the 41 of Austin Nicholson. A lot of new faces in here. Gavin Chatham is in here. Guys we've seen on the network, but not in this series. So they random draw for their heats. They go out 10 deep. We'll probably have 4 heats for sure tonight. I think we'll do 8 cars in each one. Top 4 will transfer automatically into tonight's A main. They'll have 2 B mains, where we will fill in the remaining 6 cars. So we'll start getting ready to have a look at tonight's lineup. For heat number 1, it'll be the 24 of Josh Whiteman next to the 10 of Ross Carrenta on the front row. Justin Stoll's at 23, one of a number of 23 cars in here tonight. He starts row 2 to the inside next to Ryan Paget in the 98. The 6 of Cody Olson. He's got a row 3 inside starting position on the 11 of Richie Gaines. And then the 07 of Preston Cottrell, new driver in the series. Row 4 inside, and Matt Grimm in the 91 will start in that final and 8th position. Good look at all 8 cars. They will go around here 8 times. That 23 Speed Factory car, pretty sharp for just black and white with just a little bit of color trim on it. Got a little gold, gold foil on it. Josh Whiteman, been around for a while. Been in this series and many others. We see him on the Dirt Racing Network a lot. Make sure you shout out in the chat. Say hi. If you're over on Facebook, like, share, follow. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo, hit subscribe. Get to know every single time we go live. About 9 races a week right now. That'll cut back here starting pretty soon as we get through winter and get into the spring and fall. Or spring and summer, I'm sorry. All right, next time around, they're going to cut them loose. Whiteman and Carrenta off the front row. You're going to see a lot of these guys run both series. They're going to run the 360s, and then they're going to come around next week and run the 410s and back and forth and back and forth. So, vying for a couple of different championships. Big special event on March 31st. But it's time for the lightning portion of Monday Night Thunder. Sprint cars in action. Round number 1 to kick off season 25 for the England Farms 360 wing sprint cars. We're underway. Whiteman got a good start. He'll grab the point. Carrenta right behind. Stoll slaps it into the outside wall. Grabs it back underneath him. He's got all kinds of company behind. That's Cody Olson, Ryan Paget right there. Richie Gaines trying to work to the outside of Paget. Matt Grimm tucked in behind that. And Ryan Paget not finding the going easy here. The early portion of this race, that car looks like it's a lot out of shape. But Whiteman out in front. Into 3 and 4 will be 5 to go this time. This track a little different than a lot of tracks. Your flag stand is on the inside of the front stretch, not on the outside, so it's not easy to spot. They'll come by it right here with 4 to go. Halfway through, Whiteman, Carrenta, Stoles, Olson up to 4th. He's got a transfer spot right now. Richie Gaines, Matt Grimm, Ryan Paget, Preston Cottrell through the field. Ross Carrenta starting to reel in that 24 machine. He's getting closer and closer. We're going to see a slider. Before this is over, you can just about be guaranteed of it. B2 to go this time, and Carrenta better get on his horse or he's going to run out of time. Stoll's a distant 3rd, and Olson an even more distant 4th, but he's pretty comfortable right now in a transfer spot. He just needs to keep it on all 4s and get it around here 1.5 more times. We're coming out of 4. White flag coming out this time. Carrenta's there. He cuts it down low out of 2. Side by side drag race to turn 3. Carrenta goes in. Big, long, low slider. Can he hang on to it? Coming out of 4. Who's getting to the line first? Carrenta steals it on the last lap. Whiteman, Stoles, and Olson take the 4 transfer spots. Gain, Paget, Cottrell, and Grimm. They'll be in one of our B mains here in just a little bit. It's a good opening race. We'll get ready for heat number 2. We'll line them up like this. Gavin Chatham, newcomer to the series in the 24 car. He'll start on the pole, and he'll have another newcomer to the series, Ashton Mueller in the 33 on his outside. The 007 of Cole Hasty. Row 2 to the inside, Trevor Royer, multi-time champion in the series and defending series champion. He starts row 2 to the outside. Garrett Boyd, the 21 car, inside of row number 3, next to another newcomer in the 41, Austin Nicholson. Then Ryan Scheid in the 10, row 4 inside with Taylor Wineland on his outside. All 8 cars made the call. We'll get ready to roll them off. A lot of new faces. All right, we'll get them ready for the start next time around. We'll go green this time with Chatham and Mueller, couple of rookies in the series on the front row. Oh, Scotty. You're too funny, my man. Too funny. All right, coming out of 4. Chatham. On the throttle, green flag, and boy, he timed that up pretty good. He just barely gotten into the throttle, and the green flag showed. Through 1 and 2, Mueller's going to cut down side by side. Drag race for the lead on lap number 1. Mueller long and low into 3 and 4. He should have the point coming out, and he does. He'll lead lap 1. Chatham second. Royer up to 3rd. Well, the 2 rookies already under fire from the vet, and Royer goes around Chatham into 2nd, and he is closing in right on the back of the 33 of Mueller. Hasty 4th, Wineland, Boyd, Scheit, and Nicholson, and there goes the slider for the lead. Royer almost got it. Good recovery from Mueller, and he cut right back underneath. Royer going at it again. This time Mueller bumps the fence. Royer will be side by side on the front stretch. Royer led that lap. The defending champ looking like he's hungry to go again. I think it'll be about his 10th sprint car title at DSRL if he can win it this season. He leads with 4 to go. Here comes Gavin Chatham back. He's rolling the bottom, and he's got it working. Closing in on Mueller for second. Your final transfer spot right now, that's going to be the 7 of Cole Hasty. But I think that Garrett Boyd is back here stalking, and Boyd not necessarily a sprint car guy, but he's shown out the last half of last season, and looks like tonight he's got something working here in that 21 car. Scheidt running in 6th. Wineland and Nicholson out of this thing already. We'll see them in the B main, but 2 to go for Trevor Royer, and he enjoys about 6/10 on Ashton Mueller right now. White flag will come out. Royer, Mueller, Chatham, Hasty. Boyd has fallen off. Not close enough to grab the spot. So heat number 2 will be in the books, and it'll be Trevor Royer going to the feature. He'll take Ashton Mueller, Gavin Chatham, and Cole Hasty with him. Boyd, Scheidt, Wineland, and Nicholson will be in the B main. One of the 2 B mains coming up here just shortly. Hello, Tim. I don't see the 31 car out here tonight, so I was curious what happened to you, my man. All right, heat number 3, gridding out on the front stretch. It'll be the 62 of Roy Collins on the pole and Mike Watson in the 66 on his outside. Row 2 on the inside, multi-time winner in the series, and a champion, former champion of DSRL Monday Night Thunder, the 91 Whiskers, Ernie Williams. The Kiwi Conqueror, the 7 of Craig Silby, will start on his outside. And then row 3 will be the 5 of J.P. Scheider inside and Hunter Nicodemus on the outside. Austin Garrett, 87 car. Row 4 inside with Mad Max Stambaugh on the 5 car on the outside. Another Ohio driver in here tonight. And the number 100 newcomer to the series, Hunter Nicodemus. That thing is a whole lot of purple. Taco Bell Tostitos. Doc Watson up there, that green and white number 66. A big 6 and the small 6. He'll be up there next to Rory Collins. Let's go back here because Austin Garrett is in the 71 car. Somehow it says 087, but he's got a 71 on the side of it. We'll have to get with him and get that changed so we can have right car numbers for everybody because it gets confusing even for the broadcaster. 3rd of 4 heats. 8 cars, 8 laps, top 4 to the feature. Everybody else will go B main racing. We split the field in half. 16 are locked in. 16 will race for the final 6 spots. Makes it pretty exciting. Coming around. There's Collins on the throttle. Green flag. Mr. Starter likes it. Ernie Williams went for second. He's going to grab it away from Watson. Slid right across his nose, and Watson didn't really have much of a choice. Give it up. He falls to 3rd. Scheider on the inside has 4th for the moment, but Silby working that high side, trying to find a way to get through. Contact. Couple cars are going around. We're going to have a big wreck.
All right, man.
Caution this time. Let's go and let's see if we can see what happened here. We'll go drone camming. Scheider and Watson. There's Silby right there. Just a little context. Silby didn't have a chance to react, and everybody behind had even less of a chance to react. So Doc Watson's car tore up pretty good. Scheider. Okay, so it should be Williams and Collins, then Scheider, then Nicodemus. Yeah, then Stambaugh and Silby will be at the back, being in part of that. Garrett and Watson both on the hook and into the infield. They will be back for one of the two B mains each. And Mad Max Stambaugh, I have not seen Max Stambaugh in an orange car ever. That thing is split, and it says Wing King on it. Mad Max, that thing is real bright out there. We ain't going to miss that at all. So our first caution of the entire night right there. We'll get things back underway next time around. Lights should go off the pace truck right here. I think they did. So we should be getting ready. Ernie Williams letting that pace truck get all the way away from the field. He wants to start this thing on his own. He's going to have 5 laps to hold off the field, win heat number 3, and lock himself into tonight's A main. Just waiting. Williams picking up the pace a little bit. Now on the throttle, and away we go. Going to have to talk to Mr. Schneider about his restarts because he was inside the cone. Nicodemus Collins now under fire. Stambaugh looking to take the final direct transfer spot away. Through 1 and 2, and Stambaugh will have it. Collins is back to 5th. Silby, car damaged enough he had to pull it off. We'll see him in a B main, so only 5 cars, and we're watching that battle for the final transfer spot. Three to go that time. Williams, Shutter, Nicodemus, and Stambaugh, your top 4. It was Scotty T. That's all right, buddy. We miss you. We got a good field in here tonight. You would have been in the middle of that deal, challenging hard, I'm sure. But we'll look for you next week, my friend. Right now, we got 4 cars left on track as Max Stambaugh has an issue, and he takes the 5 car to the infield. He'll be in one of our B mains now. He had a lock-in spot. White flag out. Williams, Scheider, Nicodemus, and Collins will be our transfer cars. Stambaugh, Silby, Garrett, and Watson all have to run through a B main tonight. So, one heat race remains. We'll lock in our final 4, and then we'll go searching. We'll search for 3 out of 8 in each of the 2 B mains. Session's going to flop over our last 8 cars. Going to line up like this. The 32 of Anthony Morano on the pole. Alex Jasinski in the 23 will be to his outside. And then you'll see the Mirror Man, Nathan Davis in the 36, inside row 2 with Chad Griggs in the 27 on his outside. Dean Reynolds in the 79, the 3rd row inside with Jonathan White in the 23 on the outside of that row. And then Tiny Dancer in the 118, Scott King, row 4 to the inside with the 831 of Tyler Flynn starting on his outside. Hello, Deb King. Missing a driver, missing the 27 of Chad Griggs right now. Little blinky from Morano. Who is that? Jonathan White? Jonathan White, is that you in that orange car and white car? Everybody running that car tonight? I'm going to go with, yeah, everybody's going to run that orange and white machine. All right. Well, hey, if you like it, you like it. 8 more cars, 8 more laps, 4 more lock-ins, and 4 more B-main drivers. Yeah, it's pretty daggone cold down here, Deb, and our furnace went out yesterday, and the part won't be here until Wednesday. So this really sucks when you're in the single digits. One more time around, and then we'll cut them loose. Oswego, one of those tracks where we can have a beautiful shore. Boy, we can have one that you don't want to write home about. This group, I have an expectation that we are going to have one of those awesome shows. 2 B mains and then our big 30-lap feature are all that will remain once we get done with these 8 laps. But there's still a little bit of business out here. So it is time for green flag racing. Heat number 4, final heat race of the evening. England Farms 360 wing sprint cars, DSRL Monday Night Thunder, and we're underway. Morano got a great start. Scherzinski to the top side. Looks like he's a little out of shape. He's slowing things down, and that looks like Nathan Davis in the 36, trying to work on him for second. Chad Griggs around the high side is going to make a 3 wide out of turn number 4. He and Davis have a slight bit of contact, and Griggs went for the slider. No dice. Scherzinski holding him off, but Griggs up to third. Davis is now fourth. Reynolds is tucked in behind him. Then Scott King, Tyler Flynn, Jonathan White had an issue right off the start, it looks like. And he took that 23 car straight to the pits. Morano way out front. Scherzinski sitting in second. Now he's opening up a small gap on Chad Griggs. Griggs going to go for the slider in 1 and 2, and he still doesn't get there. Alex Scherzinski is just keeping the hammer down and running it right up on the cushion. Not going to let that slider get across his nose. He is determined not to let that happen. Meanwhile, Morano is streaking away from these guys. He's coming around to 3 to go, and he's got a 1.3 second lead. Morano, known for being a fantastic big block modified driver, showing out in the sprint cars. And I'll tell you what, Nathan Davis has got a challenge for that final direct transfer spot because Dean Reynolds in the 79 is showing him the whole car, letting him know he's there. He just needs a little bit of room to make that pass. White flag coming out this time. Morano on cruise control. Scherzinski and Griggs 2 and 3. And Davis is making a run at Griggs late in this heat race. Down the backstretch into 3 and 4 for the final time. Anthony Morano is going to win the final heat race this evening. He'll go to the feature. Scherzinski will go with him. Davis will come home third, and Griggs will take the final transfer spot. Reynolds, King, Flynn, and White. Well, you boys get ready because the B mains are about to begin. There'll be 8 cars in each, and we're only taking 3 from each B main to the feature. "12 laps for your Bs. B number 1, the 11 of Richie Gaines, the 5 of Max Stambaugh. Row 1. Row 2, the 98 Ryan Paget, the 7 of Craig Silby. Your third row, Preston Cottrell in the 07, Doc Watson in the 66. And the fourth and final row for this first B main, the 91 Matt Graham and the 87 of Austin Garrett. All 8 cars have made the call. We've got 16 locked in. We take 22 to our features. So 2 B mains, we're looking for 3 cars apiece. And that means 5 drivers will be done at the end of this one. Has been good racing all night long at DSRL. First show, I think we had a one caution for the whole night. The guys went flag to flag in that 40-lap A main. They set the bar pretty high. And the sprint car guys, well, the gauntlet was thrown down. We'll see what they can do when it's time for their 30-lap feature. But right now, B main number 1. Gaines and Stambaugh on the front row. And I don't know really what happened to Max Stambaugh in his heat, but he was running in a transfer position, suddenly just turned that car into the infield and parked it. So whatever it is, hopefully he's got it worked out and he will be ready and find himself in one of the top 3 spots and make a transfer into tonight's A main. Bunching them up pretty good. Richie Gaines getting us going. He rolled us in, then picked up the throttle. And the green flag is out. 12 laps. Paget across the nose of Stambaugh right into the spot. Here comes Silby up the inside of Stambaugh, and he's trying to take third. Craig Silby in front of Max Stambaugh by just a little contact at the front. Paget got into the back of Richie Gaines, keeps the car facing the right way, and he will hold on to second as everybody else starts to get away. Silby to third, Cottrell up to fourth. He's down on the bottom, making headway down on the bottom. The only car doing that right now, here comes Matt Grimm. Grimm's going to have to find a different line. He tried to go to the bottom, and Cottrell had it covered. Stambaugh's got the top covered, and Grimm's going to stick his nose in there 3 wide. Stambaugh loose, and he'll fall back to 5th. Now the battle's for the final transfer spot. Cottrell's trying to keep it. Grimm cuts down, goes to the inside, and Matt Grimm moves into the 3rd position. Here comes Max Stambaugh looking for 4th. Stambaugh wants to stay in touch with the 91. Cottrell, Garrett, Gaines, and Watson all outside right now. Gaines and Watson look like they're done for the evening, and they've gone to the pits. So we've lost 2. We still have 6. We're looking for 3. These 3 right here on the screen, well, they're the first cars out because Matt Grimm right there in the 91, Craig Silby, and Ryan Paget have those transfer spots. A lot of laps remaining. Anything can happen. Could have shorted yourself on fuel. You could burn up your right rear tire. You could slide the car into the corner just a little bit harder than you think and put it right up in the fence. We're going to have a battle for second because Matt Grimm now on the hunt. He's going after Silby. Both cars with a big bounce in that huge hole coming out of turn number 2. Five to go. The wave lap for Paget. Silby still second. Grimm is still third. They have got about a second and a half over Stambaugh in 4th. Cottrell, Garrett, all on the same straightaway, but they are all on the outside looking in. And Matt Grimm tried that cut down line again, and Silby had it covered, and Grimm's going to have to try off the top of 2. Big bounce coming out of the corner. And Matt Grimm is still trying to work on the 7. He's just not quite getting close enough. It'll be 2 to go this time. Paget 1 second in front of this battle, and these guys are both in locked-in spots right now. And Grimm off the top side of 4 takes second away from Silby. White flag coming out, and Paget brings them through the white flag. It looks like he'll punch a ticket, make it into the A main. Grimm still in second. Silby in third. That's your 3 transfer cars. And they'll all go to tonight's A main. Stambaugh and Cottrell done for the evening. They join Garrett Gaines and Doc Watson. So B main number 1 in the books, fairly uneventful. And we will get ready for our second B main. We'll knock 5 more cars out. But we'll start them like this. The 21 of Garrett Boyd will have the pole. The 79 of Dean Reynolds on his outside. The Ryan Scheidt and the 10 inside row 2 next to the 118 of Scott King. 25, Taylor Wineland. He'll start row 3 to the inside next to the 831 of Tyler Flynn. And then Austin Nicholson in the 41, Jonathan White in the 23 will make up the remaining 2 cars. Taylor Wineland has not made the call. We'll see if he does. If not, there he is. That means all 8 made it. We're ready. Well, they are in this one together right here, starting in row number 3, side by side, Blessed. And they have got to pass 3 or 4 cars, 2 or 3 cars anyway, to make it up to the feature tonight. This is a great field of cars. There are no slouches in this field. I was looking down this lineup, and there is nobody that doesn't have a real opportunity to win a feature around here in this 32-car field. So we are hoping that every single race all season long is like this. There's 10 for each, 10 for the 360s and 10 for the 410s. And technically there's 11 points races because on March 31st, the Tim Sims DSRL King of the Wing event will feature the 360s at the 8 o'clock time slot and the 410s at the 9:30 time slot on the same night. And overall points will be kept between the two, and the champion of the night will be crowned the DSRL 2025 King of the Wing. And that is a big honor to hold. So I'm sure we'll see plenty of guys for that. But they'll get 11 chances. They're going to get 1 drop week for the whole season. But right now, final B main will walk in the last 3 cars, send 5 more home. We're about to drop the green flag. 12 laps of racing action. We're underway. Boyd to the point. Reynolds and Scheidt 2 and 3. It's a madhouse behind Wineland. Grabs the 4th spot behind Scheidt. Flynn right in behind him. Top 5 have broken away from Jonathan White, Austin Nicholson, and Scott King. And there's a battle at the front because Boyd is under fire. Reynolds has the inside, and he'll take the spot away. Boyd will fight back on the top. Keeps the throttle down, finds the momentum, goes back to the lead. And Ryan Scheidt is trying to follow in the 21's tire tracks. And that big bump out of 2 right there really upsetting these cars. They lose a little momentum. This time out of 4, Scheidt around the top. He takes the spot from Reynolds. Reynolds will get in line now because Wineland is tucked in tight and close behind him. Into 3 and 4, coming around to 8 to go. Wineland closing in. Tyler Flynn in 5th, but he's quite a ways back, and he's got company because Jonathan White is making a run around the top side and reeling him right in. Nicholson in 7th, quite a ways off these guys, and Scott King has already taken the 118 to the trailer. Tiny Dancer out of this one in B-Main number 2. Boyd is still out front. Scheidt trying to get that away from him, but he just keeps losing ground out of turn number 2. Reynolds is 3rd. And Wineland was making up ground and now is kind of equaled out. We come around 6 to go. We're halfway. Wineland goes to the bottom, and this time he closes right up on Reynolds. Slider through 3 and 4. No, he keeps it locked in on the bottom. And he'll have the spot at the line momentarily. So Taylor Wineland on the bottom making a pass to take the 3rd and final transfer spot. Contact between the 2 drivers, both wanting the same piece of real estate. Battle at the front. Boyd now side by side with Scheidt. Coming around, it'll be 3 to go. And the bottom looks like it's coming back here in this B main late. Scheidt used it to make a pass. So did Wineland. Reynolds now trying to figure something out to go back after and make a transfer spot. Got to run out of 4, and he closed a couple of car lengths, but he still needs to make about 5 more up in 2 laps. Scheidt, Boyd, Wineland, Reynolds, the top 4. We're looking for 3. This time Reynolds across the top of 3 and 4. Huge run. He is going to show Wineland that he's there. White flag. Through 1 and 2 off the top side. They're both catching Boyd. Boyd fading late in this one. And Reynolds may go 2 for 1. He moves from 4th to 2nd. Wineland goes around. Boyd, Scheidt wins it. Reynolds and Wineland transfer to the A. Boyd, White, Flynn, Nicholson, and King miss out. And Boyd was up front until the last lap coming out of 2 and gave up all the transfer spots. So the field is set. There's a 5-minute session. These guys will get 60 seconds. It's a 7-minute session, and they'll get 60 seconds of it. Excuse me for a moment.
Figure out fuel.
And then if I'm
Sorry, I had to go remind the admins it's only 60 seconds. Sometimes you just got to remind people of small things. "22 drivers for 30 laps. That's all that's left. The A main, the final race tonight. It has been a fantastic start to season number 25. 8 years for DSRL. On Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, different nights throughout its tenure. Always the best racing. So now we've got them. 22 360 wing sprint cars for the England Farms. 360 sprints on a Monday Night Thunder, and this is how we're going to line them up. It's going to be the 10 of Carenta and the 90 of Royer on the front row. Oh my, heavyweight battle right out of the box. Whiskers, the 91, Ernie Williams, row 2 to the inside. Anthony Morano in the 32 on his outside. Then Josh Whiteman inside of row number 3 in the 24 with Ashton Mealer in the 33 on his outside. Hunter Nicodemus, the 100 car. He starts inside row number 4 next to the 23 of Alex Scherzinski. The other 23 car, Justin Stoles. 5th row inside with the other 24 car of Gavin Chatham on his outside. Rory Collins in the 62, row 6 next to Nathan Davis in the 36. We'll move on to row 7. You'll see the 6 of Cody Olson inside and Cole Hasty in the 007 on the outside of that row. The 5 of J.P. Scheiderer and the 27 of Chad Griggs inside and out for row 8. Row 9 is the 98 of Ryan Padgett and Ryan Scheidt in the 10. They came out of the B mains. Matt Grimm, the 91 inside row 10, and Dean Reynolds in the 79 also out of the B mains in row number 10, and Craig Silby, the 7, and Taylor Wineland in the 98 on our 11th and final row. Hunter Nicodemus didn't make it to the track for whatever reason. Scheider to the back. Cone violation in on the restart, and that will relegate him to starting 20th out of 22 tonight. So we get ready to go green. 30 green flag laps. That's what you're going to see right here as we kick off season 25, round number 1. For the England Farms 360 sprint cars, we're underway right away. Carenta. Straight to the point, but Trevor Royer says, no. You got to fall behind, and he rockets out of turn 2 and clears him by half a second. Side by side for 3rd. Mealer right beside there, 3 wide down the front stretch. Ernie Williams backs out and gives up the spots, and that opens things up for Anthony Morano to come after him. Oh, caution in behind. Something happened to the 5. Well, you know what? It won't take me back far enough, so we'll do it ourselves. Dadgummit. 5 car of Scheiderer. A little moving around. I don't think he knew that the 98 of Wineland was there. He moved down a little. That'll slow things down a little bit. And Nicodemus has come out of the pits. We don't know why he missed the start of the race, but he has come out of the pits. He's 3 laps down now. They'll start to wave him once the field has been picked up. He should get a wave around. Wow, I can't type nothing tonight. So Royer has the point. Carinta, Miller, Williams, Morano, Stoles, Whiteman, Szuzinski, Chatham, and Davis are the top 10 right now. Hasty, Collins, Griggs, Scheidt, Olson, Paget, Grimm, Reynolds, Wineland, and Nicodemus, the top 20. Silby and Scheider are both out. And Craig Silby looks like maybe he's going to try to roll. No, I thought he was going to try to roll it back out, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Something happened to the 7 car. I assume that's a good thing, blessed. So we'll single file restart. We'll get these guys all bunched up down here this end of the track. Pace truck is out of the way. Trevor Royer back on the throttle. We're back underway. Still 32 laps to go. Dropping back to 4th, 5th. Morano had a shot, and he lost some momentum out of 2 because he was right alongside Williams momentarily. They're right in front of Stoles. A little contact behind. It looks like everybody's going to survive it. I want to say that was Scheiderer back there. Had a little contact. Maybe Olson had some. Could have been. These guys at the back here, 18th, 19th, 20. Caution, big one. 33, Ashton Miller. Oh, Miller's already tumbling. We'll just rewind that real quick because it didn't give me a red line. He got into the fence. Did that solo deal. Nobody hit him, and that's absolutely impressive. So Miller brings out the second caution. He got up into the fence, and if you put open wheel cars against the concrete barriers, that usually doesn't end well. I know we've all seen Kyle Larson and all those guys do it with the midgets the other night at the Chili Bowl, but that does not normally end well. And in this case for Ashton Miller, in his debut, he'll go to the junkyard early, and we'll slow things down. Oops. So, 3 cars out. Miller, Silby, and Nicodemus. So the lights are off on the pace vehicle. We're going to go back to green flag racing. So waiting on Trevor Royer. Put the hammer down one more time. Right up on the outside. He gets us going. Opens it up pretty good. About 6 car lengths over Corinta. Williams is third. Morano still fourth. Stoles through turn 2 in fifth. Whiteman, Chatham, Scherzinski are battling now. Chatham and Scherzinski going at it. And now here comes Nathan Davis on the high side, makes it 3 wide. He should get out of turn 2 with a big head of steam, and he'll clear that battle behind. Hasty and Scherzinski still side by side for the top 10. There's Chad Griggs in 11th, right behind. Scheidt tucked in behind him. And Ryan Padgett in the 13th spot. We'll go back to the front because Royer's opened it up. He is easing away from Corinta. Corinta is moving away from Williams and Stoles. And they're side by side for the final podium spot. Crossover move 3 wide, and Ernie Williams threads the needle and fires it down the backstretch. Stoles is still going to come after him. This time Williams with a big run out of 4, and he'll clear by 2 or 3 car lengths. He'll hang on to the spot. Morano still in 5th and right in contact with the top 3, but here comes Chatham in that 99 car. He's got company. Whiteman and Davis are right there, and they're almost 2 and 3 wide themselves back here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Trevor Royer alone. Corinta closing in. Williams back under fire again from Stoles and Morano. The battle for third is not relenting a bit, and Corinta's starting to close things up a little bit. Slider from Stoles, and once again Williams cuts underneath, stomps on the throttle, and drives away. I don't know what happened to Justin Stoles. He may have bounced that thing out of the park. And if he did, that's unfortunate. That means there's a little glitch over here in turn 2, and some of these guys might want to be aware of that. But Justin Stoles is now back. Well, he was for a second. I don't know where he went. Off the track. I think he kicked it out the window over here in turn 2. Royer starting to open it back up. It was 4/10 a couple laps ago. It's back to 8/10. This time Corinta gets a good run down the backstretch and closes up just a little bit. Morano has fallen off, but he's got third. Chatham trying to reel him in, about a half a second behind. They have broken away from 5th place, Nathan Davis, and Davis is under fire from Whiteman and Scherzinski. As that is a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Greg Scheidt and Olsen. Cody Olsen having a good run. He's up in the top 10. Crossed under the 20 to go signal. And Corinta, I don't know if he's playing with his food or if he just keeps getting runs and then making mistakes, but he'll close up on Royer, and then all of a sudden he will fall all the way back to 0.8 of a second. This track rough up on the top side. Big bump in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Big bump on the exit of 2, and a huge bump getting into turn 3 on the top of the track. Bump coming out of 4. You can see those cars bouncing. Let's get the drone cam out. Big jump right there. They'll do it again or right there getting into 3 and 4. This track just rough around to the top. Another bump coming up off of 4. These two a second ahead of Morano. And caution. What is our caution for? Ryan Scheidt? Oh, no. 10 car. He's right behind Olsen and Griggs, and he goes through 3 and 4. Right rear grabbed the fence, and he is up and into it, and he's hung up. So Ryan Scheidt's night will end in about 12th or 13th place. What happened to Ernie Williams? That's why he's no longer up there in the top 3. I don't know what happened to him, but he bowed out about 4 laps ago. I'm gonna go with we were away from him with the camera, and he found that outside wall too because he loves to get up there and run as tight as he can. So you just jinked old Stoles? Yeah, I think he did, because somehow that car just vanished from the racetrack and never returned. I think maybe he hit the bumps a little too hard and it flipped him up over the fence out there in turn number 2. So I'm not sure. But right now it's Royer, Carrenta, Morano, Chatham, Scherzinski, Davis, Whiteman, Griggs, Olsen, and Grimm in the top 10. Taylor Wineland is 11th. And those are the only cars left on track. This has been a war of attrition. We've lost half of our field. Our latest 2, Ryan Scheidt on lap 18 and Ernie Williams on lap 15. Cole Hasty right before that. Stoles before that. Collins and Paget at the end of a lap number 9, coming to lap 10. Scheiderer at the end of lap 8, coming to 9. Reynolds at lap 7. Mueller, Silby, and Nicodemus super early in this one. So Oswego not friendly. Oswego very rough tonight. But we're going to come around. We'll have 15 laps remaining, halfway right here when we take the green flag. 3 cautions. We've had a good green flag run in the middle of this. And we're back underway. We're going to move back a little ways back here because these guys look like they were bobbing and weaving. And they get it all sorted out. That is 8th place Chad Griggs, 9th place Cody Olsen, and then Matt Grimm and Taylor Wineland, 10 and 11. Dean Reynolds is a few laps down, but he's out here making up for points. He'll pass a lot of cars at the last few laps of this. He'll move himself up probably somewhere in the 12th or 13th range if he can manage to make all the remaining laps. Grimm went through. He grabs 9th. Olsen falls back, and Wineland is right there side by side. Let's go close to the front because Anthony Morano going after 2nd. He's trying to get it away from Carrenta. Carrenta up high. Morano down low, and Morano got a good run out of 2. Off of 4. Off the top side, Carrenta with the momentum takes the spot back, but I think Morano's got something working on the bottom here. That car's a lot smoother coming up off of 2. It's not bouncing around, but there's Chatham, and he's right in the middle of this. Scherzinski's closing in as well. Podium is not settled. I think Royer might have him covered. There goes Morano past Carrenta. You can see these cars just bouncing around. Carrenta under fire for 3rd from Chatham. Chatham on the bottom going to take the spot, and I think Alex Scherzinski saw that, and he started to move down the hill. Now goes back to the top, so it's Royer, Morano, Chatham, then Carrenta. And the bottom may be coming back a little bit, especially in 1 and 2, because Chatham opened it up a little bit. Carrenta's finding the fence, and Scherzinski thought about going tight on him right there and then thought better of it and gave the spot back. Three-quarters of a second, but Anthony Morano has been faster the last couple of laps than your leader. And he is very slowly whittling down that gap. I think he might run out of laps before he gets the real estate eaten up. We'll be down to 6 to go this time, but it's right under half a second. Six to go this time. Royer, Morano, Chatham, top 3. Scherzinski around Carrenta into 4th. Whiteman around Carrenta right here, coming out of turn 2, coming to the 5 to go. And here comes Chad Griggs late. Corinta's car fading real bad at the end of this one. Matt Grimm is up here. Wave lap for Royer, and he enjoys half a second. But Morano may not be done in that time. Royer bumped the fence, and it closed the gap 2/10. Now it's back to half second. Royer finds a little extra getting down the straightaway. Now he opens it up even wider that lap. Chatham looking for a better finish than third. These three quite a ways in front, about 1.4 seconds in front of Alex Straczynski in fourth. And Morano keeps closing it down, and then it starts to open back up every time Royer can feel it. 2 to go, the signal. Defending series champ. Opening things up. He'll get to the white flag first. Can he hang on for one more lap? Down the backstretch for the final time, 0.4 of a second. Trevor Royer is going to win round one and open up season 25 where he left off in season 24. He goes to victory lane. Anthony Morano second, Kevin Chatham third, Straczynski and Corinta 4 and 5. Whiteman 6th, Grimm was 7th, Griggs 8th, Olson 9th, Davis 10th, Wineland in 11th, Scheit was 12th, Williams 13th, Hasty 14th, 15th, Justin Stoles, Reynolds in 16th, 17th to Collins, 18th was Paget, 19th Scheider, Mueller in 20th, Silby 21st, and Nicodemus rounding out the field. So we'll get ready to get down here. We're going to talk to our drivers. Oh, we got to get them all in chat, so we're going to give them a moment. And give me a second to remind you about tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, ERA. And their pavement late model stock car series. Anthony Morano, let's get Gavin Chatham. We need him in here. Really want him in. He's got to come to the Discord to chat with us. We may talk to Anthony Morano first while we wait for Gavin. Oh, nope, he made it. We'll go back. We will go back. He did make it in. And we're happy that he did. Let's grab him up. Yeah, Chatham, you got a copy.
I hear you.
All right, man. Showing out here on opening night for season 25, Monday Night Thunder and the England Farms 360 wing sprint cars. You're going to come home third, but it wasn't without a whole lot of hard work, it looked like.
No, it was tough. It was definitely had to be up on the wheel and be smooth and be smart out there and make the right decisions and pick the right lines. Heck of a race. We're fortunate, and be in the right positions at the right time to pass the right cars and work our way up to a podium.
Yeah, it looked like this track was extremely rough up on the top side, and only the second time that the 360s have been here. I do not recall in the first show that there were that many bumps getting around this place. How was that out there trying to navigate, stand up by the fence, and not let the car bounce around and get over?
It was definitely cowboy up there for sure. No, it was definitely rough up there, and I just wasn't just not something I was really comfortable with tonight. I wasn't hitting the bumps right. It kept feeling like the car was shooting off into the wall, and I didn't want that. So I went down to the bottom. It definitely felt like it was more consistent down there. But if you could run the top, you were super fast. It was really hard to beat. Maybe another 5 to 10 laps. I think that top would have been gone, and the bottom would have been where to be. But I mean, both lines are pretty good for racing. So to put on a good show like that at Oswego, it's always good. But yeah, running that wall can be tricky, and definitely it's high risk, high reward. 'Cause I think a couple guys got up in there and unfortunately flipped out of the ballpark. So, but no, very happy with being able to roll the bottom and move forward and get a third place.
All right, man. Well, an awesome run. Way to start the season off. Give me some shout outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate with your teammates.
No, I just want to thank you, Roger, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank everybody with the Dirt Slingers, all the sponsors, everybody behind the scenes, admin, everybody that helps put this series on, allows us to come out here and put a good race on. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dirt Car Series, Full Throttle Motorsports, I think I already mentioned him. And shout out to Anthony Morano. Heck of a drive for him to come up here and finish second in this pretty tough, pretty competitive league. Just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching this series. I hope we put a good show on for y'all, and just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me and watching the races.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run, and we'll look forward to seeing you back next week, bud.
All right, thanks, Roger. Have a great week.
That is Gavin Chatham finishing in third tonight. Now we'll move on. We're going to talk to a guy who really is a big-time big block driver, and he comes in here on opening night for the 360s and sticks it on the podium in what was one heck of a competitive field. Anthony Morano, great drive for the 32.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I actually just love this track. So that's like the main thing here, to just able to roll the bottom like I do in the big block, and held on as long as I could and give Trevor something there at the end, but a couple bobbles, couple of hits on the wall, and that was that.
Yeah, looked like you guys were all struggling, especially the guys around the top. This track had a lot of bumps in it tonight.
Oh man, my arms are whooped. It was bouncing around, especially on the backstretch. It was rough. Kept picking the nose, trying to get in the 3, and kind of screwed me up a few times. Just trying to get through, to make sure I got down into the tack there, what little was left on the left rear. So, yeah, the direct drive will definitely put a whooping on your arms in these cars for sure.
Yeah, it will. And, all those big bumps and humps around the place, that's what kind of makes dirt racing fun. But sometimes they're not in the right place. And we saw a couple of guys get over the fence. Is that the reason why you stayed tucked in on the bottom?
That's part of it. I'm just, in every car I run, I'm pretty much on the bottom. Doesn't matter what track. There's only a select few, like Lernerville and Kokomo, I'll run the top. Otherwise, I'm down around catfishing and let everyone else run the top. And yeah, hopefully they burn up their tires a bit more than I do, and then I can just, catch up at the end and do what I got to do.
Well, I got to ask you, with the series going back and forth between 360s and 410s, are we going to see you in the big car next week?
That's the plan. I don't have anything else running on Monday nights, so I'll be running for both championships and see what happens.
Awesome, man. Give me some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you head out and celebrate with your teammates.
Gotta thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over there at FTM. I had Gavin Chatham. He's the newest guy on our team, and he helps me out a lot with the sprint car stuff. Dean, again, he's always helped me out in all the cars we get into, but, Gavin especially was really, telling me what I was doing and how I was looking. He was riding around there behind me. I think the big difference between how I stayed ahead of him was just the gearing. But, Dean over at Super Car, Logan at Heim Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Simshot, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, MDI TV, GripHack.com, Bowman's Designs. Everyone that's sponsoring the league here at Dirt Slingers, I gotta actually look it up and see who it is, make sure I get all their names out there, because we all appreciate what they do for us. Roger, you for doing a broadcast and hosting a party for us to come out here and look good.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. Thanks for chatting with us, and I look forward to seeing you back next week.
Thanks a lot, Roger.
Anthony Morano finishing in a second, and now we'll move on. He's picking up where he left off last season. The defending series champion comes out and makes a statement in round number 1. First things first, Mr. Royer, Oswego. I don't know how many times you've run a sprint car here, but what did you think of that track tonight? That thing looked rougher than rough.
Yeah, it's a sketchy one. It kind of reminds me of how USA used to get with the whoop section. Kind of unpredictable, and you don't really know what the car's gonna do. You hit the bumps too hard. I was really babying it through 1 and 2 because there was a bump in the middle of the corner that was really upsetting my car if I was on the gas too hard when I hit it.
Yeah, it looked like everybody was struggling a little bit. A couple of guys, it bounced him up over the fence. One guy bounced him clear out of the ballpark. But when the track gets rough like that, it makes it exciting for the fans because you guys are really out there working and wrestling, and it lets guys move up or move back, and we see a lot of action. A lot of times, though, I'm sure it's just absolutely nerve-wracking in the car for you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure that track was perfect for people making mistakes. We had that last yellow with like 15 to go, and I literally was like in my head, like, man, I gotta survive 15 more laps of this. And the top just started getting thinner and thinner, and there were laps where I wasn't even really trying to lean on the cushion because if I got up over it, I was in the wall, and especially in 3 and 4, I was kind of just driving in hard, trying to keep my momentum up, and then driving off hard on the exit. And yeah, seeing that relative shrinking, I had my eye on Anthony. Was not sure what line he was running, but he was rolling pretty good there. Yeah, he was searching. Yeah,
he was the bottom a lot. But he was searching, man, and he would close up. And I said it on the broadcast. Whatever it is, he'll close up, and then it's like either Trevor lets the car go some more or Anthony makes a mistake because the gap would close down to about 3/10, and then it would open right back up to 8/10 again. It was fun watching you two, go after each other, really.
Yeah, it was really a fine line because if you drove it in, if you entered too high, like especially in 3, you'd get up in that little flat part and your car would push tight towards the wall, and if you entered too low, you were in the slick and you kind of lost the rear end of the car on entry, and that pretty much kills your whole corner. So there was really a fine line all the way around this racetrack. Yeah, definitely a sketchy one.
All right, man. Well, give me some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you head out tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank England Farms, Rock and K Logistics, my team, Black Diamond Motorsports, Ultimate Dirt TV, 19 Designs, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, you, Roger, for putting this broadcast on, Scott for doing the admin work, Scott and Jonathan both, actually, for doing the admin work, putting this league on, making this happen. Excited for this season, switching between 360s and 410s all year. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I'll be talking to you next week.
All right, man. Thanks for talking with us tonight. Congrats on the win. I'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yep. Thank you, Roger.
Trevor Royer, defending series champion, picking up where he left off with the win tonight. Big thank you to all the sponsors: England Farms, Justin Jim Steakhouse, Rock and K Logistics, Layden Flooring and Remodel, 1-8 Electric, Scott King Designs, Edmund Trophy and Awards. I know I'm missing somebody in there. Even I miss them every once in a while. Tim Sims, admin box, the whole bunch that gets in here behind this series and supports it, because without them, these guys don't have a place to come and run, and they get a lot of great prizes out. We still are shipping prizes for last season out to some of these guys. Short turnarounds, and we get behind on a few things, but all these guys got champions, got panels coming, prizes coming. All the heat race or feature winners, I'm sorry, not heat race winners, feature winners from last season have prizes coming, so we're hoping to do all that again. But it is a lot of fun. And, man, I'll tell you what, these guys kicked off season 25 with both races being fantastic tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We do it all for you, and without you, there's no reason for us to do it. Without all the great leads, giving us awesome racing like we watched all night long here. Nothing to cover. So pats on the back, high fives all the way around. Till we see you guys the next time. Peace and love to everybody. Keep the rough side facing down. It's always